Well, hi there. We want to be able to create our front and back rails here now on this same sketch. So we've got them spaced correctly apart. We just need to create them. So you can start on either one of the two rails. It doesn't really matter which one you do. I might choose to start on this one here, which is the right hand side one. So let's start with a sketch, and then we'll sketch on this face. And what I should have done really is get rid of this because it's going to get in our way. Turn it off so we can't see it. We'll find out which one it is. It's not that, it's left leg, yep, and left side rail. Just by hovering over it you can see, and left front. So I've just turned them off so they're invisible. They're still there, but we just can't see them. So we're going to be sketching as we chose on this face over here. So select that, and I might bring that into view. It's on the back, make it fit by clicking there. Sorry about the hourglass that I've got here. I don't know why I've done that, but I can fix it up later. Alright, so first thing to do would be to create ourselves a center point. You can kind of see like there's one sitting in there very vaguely. So let's create a point. So click on create, we'll go to point, and we'll select that point right in the middle there. And from that point we want to do a center rectangle. So we'll go to create, and then rectangle, and center rectangle, because we want to bring out the cross section of this shape that we're going to use. Now we know from our past it's the same as the other side rails, so it needs to be 65, so I'm typing in 65 for the horizontal measurement, and needs to be 19. So I'll hit the tab to get the vertical measurement, type in 19 and hit enter, and that should give us the cross section of our leg. And next thing to do would be to extrude that out. So we've sketched that cross section on that face. Let's extrude it out for how long? Well, you could look at your 2D drawing and see that the distance between either end of the front leg or the rear, they're both the same, is 400 millimeters. So let's go back to here and let's do the extrude. So go to solid, click on extrude, highlight the area that you want to extrude, which isn't that. So we'll just hit hit the control button, and we want this area in here. Now there's lots of lines, and that's why you're getting that flashing between each. Move around until you can find the section that you want that's highlighted. Probably not that section. And if you find that it's difficult for you to get the selection that you want, try moving your object to a different angle. Oh, there it is. So I'll hit that one, and I've highlighted that area. And that was easy just by moving the object, because Fusion's looking through objects and it's seeing other lines that are behind them. And it's probably a good idea why you get rid of lines that you don't need. Okay, well we're going to extrude it to, what do we say? 400 millimeters. 400. Out it goes. And now it should be the correct distance, which is, I'll make it fit so we can see it. There it is, 400 millimeters. And if you wanted to check it and make sure that it is there in the right spot, let's try left front leg, and it should be just in the right spot for us. Looks like it is. Pretty good. Alright, I'll turn that leg off again. I don't want to see it at the moment. And now let's create our dowel holes. Now probably the easiest way to do that would be to work from, let's say, I'm trying to work out whether it works in the front or the back. First I'll see how we've got the join function here. We don't want to join two bits together. We want to create separate items. So let's go with a new body. So this will make it a different item to the other legs. See how they highlight differently? If they were joined, it'd all be the one item, and I don't want that. Click OK, and that extrude is done. And now I'm going to create my dowel holes over here. So I'm going to create a sketch and click on there, and I'll make it fit by clicking on the fit button. And if you can hold your mouse nearby and just scroll, it'll come and fill the screen. If you find yourself a little bit out of position, just grab the grab handle here and you can grab it and bring it into position. Hit escape to get out of that. And now you can see that we've got the centers of where the dowel is supposed to be. the dominoes sit up there for us. So what we want to try and do here is create another point, and so if we can get the two inside points, so that point there, sorry, the outside radius points, that point, I can just do, I have to draw the slots again, because those slots are actually drawn on all the way back here on the front leg, not on this section that I've decided to draw on. So remember how to do slots, is just create a slot down here, slot, and then overall slot, because we want to go from end to end. So from that point right to left point, drag it out, and we tell it we want it to be 6 millimeters. That's brilliant. And then we do the same thing again. So create slot, and then overall slot, and we do the same deal. Highlight both points, drag it out to 6 millimeters, which you kind of guessed already. Click yes, and we're pretty happy with that. So we're gonna now, because we're drawing on the end, because sometimes it's easy to forget what you're drawing. You're actually drawing on the end of this, yeah. So let's dig out those two domino mortises by going to solid and then extrude. We'll go select those two shapes, control to get the next one as well. Hit the control button, or I think it's still control on Mac, and then we're going to cut, and we're going to drag this stuff. Probably -20 will be the distance, because remember it's half of the domino. So click on -20. There we go. And we'll click OK. So we've cut in those two domino holes to the correct size. Now we've got to mirror that, because remember we've only really cut them on one side. So we want to mirror that. Now if you recall, planes are a wonderful thing. Now we've got this center plane over here, which is pretty good. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But we've got another plane which you can't see because I've turned it off. So to see where your planes are, you can go under construction on your left tab or your left menu bar here. Go to construction, and plane 1, which was the first plane that I made, I've just turned it back on again now, and you should be able to see it. So I'll center this. There it is there. Remember, that's the center plane looking down from the top, right in the center. Now, we should be able to mirror those two domino joints to there, to the other side of the front rail, through that mirror plane. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we'll go to the create a mirror function, create mirror, and then the dialog box asks us what do we want to mirror, and we're going to mirror feature, because we made some stuff, we extruded it, it was a feature, and the feature was the last extrude that we've done, which we can highlight it down here. It's those two things, or we've could have gone up to this and highlight it over there. I've just chose to go on the timeline and highlight the latest extrude. So there it is. We've extruded that, and now we want to mirror about a mirror plane. We'll select the mirror plane by highlighting it in the dialog box, then selecting it, and there's our two dominoes that appeared on the other end. So we'll click OK. See that? So that was pretty easy, just using the mirror function and these planes. Now if they get in the way, you can always turn them off just by going to construction and then clicking on the eye and blanking the eyes out, and the planes will disappear just like that. Well, I'm going to keep them on for the moment because I'm going to use this one. Now I want to mirror this front leg to the back, but I want it to mate into these two dowel holes that I've used on the back leg. So to do that, I need to know the distance from the center of the dowel holes up here to the center of the dowel holes down there, and then I'll create a plane in the middle. Well, look, I can tell you, you can do that from the drawing. You can do an inspect and measure. There's lots of ways of doing that. I've discovered it already. It's 175.5 millimeters, and I've created a plane here. It's an offset plane, so we've done this before. You just go to the construct feature, and then down here select offset plane, and then you tell it what the surface that you want to offset from, and you can choose that surface, whichever one you want. You might create another plane here to get yourself in between those, right in the center of those dominoes, or you can do it from the back surface here to the front there, or the surface of the inside surface. I think I used the inside surface of the front leg to the inside surface of the back leg, and then I measured that distance, and so I created the plane, and then the plane appears, and that's that plane that I've just created over here. So now we're going to mirror this feature, which is this entire little body that we've done, about that plane, and it should land perfectly matching up with the dowel holes on the other side. So let's try that. It should work. So we'll go to mirror, modify, and mirror. Oh, it's not modify, it's create. You should have told me. Alright, mirror, and then we're going to select the feature. Well, it's not a feature, it's a body. Alright, so it's a body. Remember I told you I like to separate bodies? Now this one highlights, so I just highlight it. Beautiful. And then select the mirror plane. It's this mirror plane over here, and you can see how the object just sits in the spot. Click OK, and it should be pretty well spot on. Let's have a look at it a bit closer. Yep, well, not quite. See how it's not, it's off center here? There's obviously something that's not quite right there with that plane, and the distance isn't quite right. So this plane here is not exactly in the right spot. It's a little bit too far in one direction. So I can measure that distance there from here to here, and it looks to me as though it's probably about 7 or 8 millimeters. And then I'll just adjust the plane height or the plane offset and make this thing line up. Those two dowel joints right there, that one needs to line up with here. And it's not super difficult to that. You can do that if you choose. Now, if you're going to do that, I would suggest what you do is delete the mirror that you've just done. So that one there, just click delete, and then readjust your plane, and then do your mirror again. That would be the best way to do it. I think I'll leave you to do that, and you will have produced the correct project. I've done it. It's sort of sitting over here, I think, now, and there it is lined up correctly with all the dominoes in alignment like that. Okay. Well, thanks for that. See you soon.